So Cape Town in the 18th century was pretty much like an episode of Gossip Girl. Think balls and dances at least once a week, expensive, extravagant clothing, complicated societal warfare, and such a luxury in living that for a time Cape Town even became known as Little Paris. Your Blairs and Serenas were the women of the VOC elite, the wives and the daughters of high-ranking officials in the Dutch East India Company. And the new money, social climbing little J's were the free burghers, the other Dutch settlers who came into money thanks to land grabs and slavery. And what's interesting is that unlike traditional aristocracy in Europe, the sea of economic opportunity in Cape Town meant that people who were poor or lower class back in the Netherlands could just buy their way into higher society. So this made like rank, status, and position so insecure and nebulous, so much so that even women who were lifelong friends would actually stop speaking to each other if one of them married a man of higher rank, therefore like stepping above them in society. And you see that women had to constantly defend their position in society. And one of the best tools for this was elaborate and decadent fashion. One French writer at the time notes, the women dress and adorn themselves with the same fastidious elegance as our French ladies, but they have neither their style nor their graces. Yikes. And another says, the pride of the women here is astonishing. They are farmers' daughters, but I have seldom seen a lady in Germany walk about more elegantly dressed and with headgear more grand. But my favorite is was one writer saying that money, not pedigree, is worshipped at the Cape. And this battle of conspicuous consumption would reach such great heights that in 1755, the governor had to institute sumptuary laws to remind people of their position. Sumptuary laws basically dictate who gets to wear what according to their socioeconomic class. And suddenly you see that velvet, parasols, gold buckles, pearls, and skirts with trains actually fall under actual legislation, like they become strictly regulated. So if you were not a person of a certain rank or part of a certain class, you were legally not allowed to wear those things. Like they were trying to keep middle class or the emerging bourgeoisie from outflexing their betters. And obviously all of this like excess is underscored by the fact that it is 100% the result of like enslaving people and stealing land and dispossessing the indigenous populations in the Cape Colony. But what I think is really interesting is that these women were also able to dress so elegantly because the women they were enslaving were so skilled at dressmaking. And I think you sort of see that today in present Cape Town's sort of reputation as like the textile manufacturing hub of South Africa. And that's just something that sort of began in the 18th century. And it's still probably just as unequal as it was back then. Now, let me know what you think about all of this. Ciao.